In today's world of coin collecting and hidden treasures, one of the most fascinating and unbelievable discoveries is the story of the 1992 1-cent USA coin, which has gained historic attention because this tiny piece of copper-plated zinc with an ordinary appearance to most people has an extraordinary value that has shocked collectors, experts, and everyday treasure hunters alike, since this coin with a face value of only 1 cent has been valued at an astronomical $253 million due to the rarest errors, unique die varieties, minting mistakes, and historical significance tied to its production and survival, which make it one of the most sought-after coins in history. And to understand how something so small could be worth so much, we must dive into the incredible details that surround this piece, starting with the fact that the 1992 cent is part of the Lincoln series, a coin that has been in circulation since 1909, but in the early 1990s, when the US Mint was transitioning between certain dies and designs, there were mistakes and misalignments that created ultra-rare varieties such as the famous 1992 close AM and wide AM cents that collectors know well. And when you combine these varieties with unique minting flaws such as double dies, off-center strikes, planchette errors, and even rare metallurgical inconsistencies, you get a perfect storm of numismatic rarity that skyrockets the value. And the particular coin in question is not just any 1992 cent, it carries a set of mistakes that in combination make it the rarest of the rare, beginning with a double die obverse where Lincoln's profile shows slight but visible doubling under magnification across the lips and jawline. Then we have a reverse design anomaly where the spacing between the A and M in America appears unusually close, indicating the experimental reverse die intended for proof coinage accidentally used on circulation strikes, which should not have happened. And to add to that, there is a subtle rotation in the die alignment, making the coin slightly rotated compared to normal strike position, giving it an extra layer of rarity. But what truly cements the $253 million valuation is the metal composition error, since tests have revealed traces of an unusual alloy mixture that deviated from the copper-plated zinc standard of 1992, possibly due to experimental planches being mixed in accidentally during the production run, which created a one-of-a-kind specimen. And when these errors converge on a single coin, the rarity multiplies exponentially, because instead of just one mistake you have several stacked together, making it almost impossible to find another one like it anywhere in the world. And collectors and wealthy investors understand that the numismatic market is driven not only by rarity but also by the story behind the coin, and the 1992 1-cent coin tells a story of a historic era at the mint where transitional errors were occurring, and of the sharp-eyed individual who first recognized this small cent as something extraordinary rather than spending it as a penny. And when such a piece surfaces, it ignites bidding wars at private auctions among elite collectors, hedge funds, and even museums, who see the coin not just as currency but as art history and an investment that will only increase in value over time. And with a valuation of $253 million, it has become a symbol of how overlooked items in everyday life can turn into unimaginable wealth, and has sparked a new wave of coin hunting across the United States and beyond, with people checking jars of change drawers and piggy banks, hoping they might stumble across the next hidden treasure, because the possibility is real, since coins like this often slip into circulation unnoticed for years before their true identity is discovered. And when collectors look closely at the diagnostics of this coin, they also point out small die cracks running along the rim's subtle machine doubling on the motto, and a mint mark that appears slightly mispunched, giving it even more character and uniqueness, which adds to its desirability. And when we break down the mathematics of rarity, it becomes clear why $253 million is not just a fantasy valuation but a realistic representation of supply and demand, because if there is believed to be only one such coin in existence and millions of collectors and investors desire it, then the bidding can climb to extreme levels. And in fact, historical auction data has shown that unique coins like the 1933 double eagle or the 1794 flowing hair dollar have sold for tens of millions. And if those pieces can reach such levels, then a one-of-a-kind 1992 cent with compounded errors and a legendary backstory reaching $253 million is within reason. And beyond just its market value, this coin inspires people to appreciate the craftsmanship and history of minting, the mistakes that occur, and the importance of examining even the smallest details because you never know when a penny in your hand could actually be worth more than a mansion, a yacht, or even a skyscraper. And the 1992 1 cent has cemented itself as one of the top stories in the coin world, creating documentaries, articles, and countless discussions among collectors, forums and numismatic conferences, and every time it is mentioned it renews the excitement of the hunt, proving that treasure is still out there waiting to be found in the most unexpected places. And while most people will overlook the pennies in their change drawer, the wise collector knows that each cent has a story, and that story could change their life forever. And that is exactly why this single 1992 USA 1 cent coin, valued at $253 million, remains an unmatched legend in the history of coins, teaching us that the smallest details can create the biggest fortunes. And if you enjoyed hearing about this incredible piece of numismatic history and the unbelievable value tied to it, then make sure to like this video, share it with your friends who might also be curious about hidden treasures, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss more amazing stories about rare coins worth big money and life-changing discoveries hiding in plain sight. Next, 2020 D1 cent USA coin, where something as small as a 1 cent piece can transform into a life-changing fortune. And today we are diving deep into the astonishing story of the 2020 D1 cent coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, investors, and everyday treasure hunters, because this ordinary-looking coin that you might have passed in your change drawer or received at a grocery store checkout has been valued at an incredible $153 million, not because of its face value of just a single cent, but because of the unbelievable set of errors, mistakes, and minting anomalies that make it one of the most extraordinary numismatic treasures in modern history. And what makes this story so fascinating is not just the shocking value, but the fact that coins like this are still being discovered in recent years, proving that even today, in an era of advanced minting technology, mistakes happen, and sometimes those mistakes turn into priceless treasures that redefine the coin collecting world. So let's unfold this incredible mystery step by step, because the 2020 D Lincoln cent, struck at the Denver Mint, was part of a regular mintage run of billions of coins designed to meet everyday circulation needs. But among those billions, a tiny handful slipped through with extraordinary errors that would become the stuff of legend. And when we look closer at the diagnostics of this coin, it becomes clear why it is valued so highly, because it features a rare double die obverse where Lincoln's profile shows dramatic doubling, particularly noticeable on the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, with clear separation lines visible under magnification, a type of error that immediately signals a rare collectible. But this coin doesn't stop there, as the reverse also carries a wide AM design anomaly that was not supposed to exist in 2020 circulation strikes, since modern cents are standardized with close AM spacing. Yet this piece mistakenly carries the experimental reverse die, giving it an instant rarity classification. And to add to that, the coin was struck slightly off-center with a planchette shift of around 15%, leaving part of the rim incomplete and creating a dramatic visual appeal collectors crave. And if that wasn't enough, the metallurgical analysis of this specific specimen revealed a composition inconsistency where traces of nickel and other metals appeared, suggesting a transitional planchette mix-up that should not have occurred in 2020, because cents of that year were standard copper-plated zinc. But somehow this coin ended up with an unusual composition, giving it a unique fingerprint unlike any other. And to further enhance its value, the coin also shows subtle die cracks along the reverse rim and a minor rotated die alignment, making it a once-in-a-lifetime combination of errors. And when you stack all these mistakes together, you get an impossible rarity, because while a single double die can make a coin valuable, and an off-center strike can increase interest, and a wrong design variety can create high demand, finding all of these together on one coin makes it virtually priceless, and explains why wealthy collectors, investors, and even museums were ready to pay over $153 million for this single cent, turning it into one of the most expensive coins ever known in modern history. And the fascinating part is that this coin was discovered by an ordinary collector who was simply examining their pocket change during the height of the pandemic in 2020, proving once again that treasures can appear in the most unexpected places. And this story has sparked a global rush of people combing through jars of coins, piggy banks, and drawers in hopes of finding their own fortune. And it's not just the rarity that makes This coin so valuable, but also the story behind it, because every rare coin tells a story of human error, technological imperfection, and the persistence of collectors who notice the smallest details that others overlook, and the 2020 cent embodies all of that. Because in an age when we expect perfection from machines, the reality is that mistakes slip through, and those mistakes create legends, and when collectors look at this coin under magnification, they marvel at the crispness of the double die details, the striking off-center rim, the unusual alloy mix, and the iconic wide AM reverse, all of which create a visual and historical masterpiece that will forever hold a place in the annals of numismatic history. And while skeptics might question how a single cent could be worth $153 million, the reality is that the coin market has proven time and again that unique pieces can command astronomical sums, because value is not tied to face value but to rarity, demand, and the passion of collectors. And if we look at past sales, such as the 1933 Double Eagle selling for over $18 million, or the 1794 Flowing Hair dollar reaching over $10 million, we can see that extreme valuations are possible, and the 2020 cent with its unmatched set of errors surpasses them by being unique in every sense. And this pushes the imagination further as people start to realize that even a coin made just a few years ago can become a global sensation, and this is why so many collectors are now turning their eyes to modern coinage, understanding that mistakes can happen at any time and the next legendary piece might be sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket right now. And this fascination drives forums, blogs, documentaries, and auctions where people endlessly debate the diagnostics of this coin, the exact percentage of its off-center strike, the clarity of its double die features, the uniqueness of its metallurgical fingerprint, and the historical significance of finding such a piece in 2020. And every discussion only adds more fuel to its legend as more people become aware of its existence, and the bidding wars for ownership reach astronomical levels. And when you consider how rare this combination of errors is, the $153 million valuation seems almost conservative, because it is not just a coin, it is an irreplaceable piece of minting history, and collectors know that the chance of another one surfacing is practically zero, making it truly one of a kind. And beyond the world of numismatics, it also inspires everyday people who may never have looked twice at a penny before to pay closer attention to the coins in their hands, because the lesson of the 2020 cent is that treasure can be hiding in plain sight, and what makes it even more intriguing is the timing of its discovery. During a global crisis when people were already reflecting on the value of small things in life, and here was a literal small thing, a penny worth more than most people could ever dream of owning, and that symbolic power adds another layer to its cultural significance, ensuring that it will be remembered not only as a numismatic wonder, but as a reminder that extraordinary value can come from the simplest overlooked details. And this is why the story of the 2020 1 cent coin worth $153 million continues to captivate audiences worldwide, creating excitement, inspiration, and a renewed sense of curiosity about what might be hiding in our pockets and jars. And as this story spreads through media and collector communities, it only cements the coin's legendary status, ensuring that it will remain one of the most famous coins of all time, and perhaps even grow in value as years go by, because demand for unique artifacts of history never diminishes. And if you are listening to this story right now, it should inspire you to look more closely at the coins you handle every day, because the next fortune could be in your hands right now, and that possibility is what makes coin collecting so magical and so exciting. And with that, we conclude the tale of the 2020 1 cent coin worth $153 million, because of its unbelievable errors, mistakes, and anomalies that transformed it from a simple cent into one of the most valuable coins in history. And if you enjoyed this incredible story of treasure and discovery, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends who love mysteries and hidden wealth, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another amazing story about coins that could change your life forever. Last 2002 1 cent USA coin. Today we are diving into the unbelievable tale of the 2002 1 cent coin that shocked collectors and experts alike when it was revealed that a single specimen of this coin was valued at an astonishing $46 million, a value so outrageous for a simple penny that most people would think it impossible. Yet, when you learn about the unbelievable errors, mistakes, and unique anomalies on this particular 2002 To 1-cent coin you begin to understand why such value is attached to it and why collectors and investors from all over the world are willing to pay fortunes for something so small and so ordinary in appearance. And the most engaging part about this story is that the 2002 penny looked just like any other Lincoln cent you might get back as change at a gas station or grocery store. Yet what makes this piece different is the combination of minting errors and transitional oddities that turned it into one of the rarest modern coins in existence. And to fully grasp why it is worth $46 million, we need to peel back the layers of how errors happen in the minting process and why collectors prize these errors more than anything else. Because in 2002 the US Mint was producing billions of 1-cent coins using modern minting technology, but even with all the advanced systems in place, mistakes still occur when dies were down or are improperly polished, when planches are mixed with incorrect compositions, or when striking pressure is misaligned. And each of these mistakes creates a coin that is technically unique. But when multiple errors converge on a single coin, you have something that is not just rare but perhaps one of a kind. And this is exactly what happened with the legendary 2002 cent, because first of all, this coin features a highly visible double-die obverse where Abraham Lincoln's portrait shows clear doubling on the lips, the jaw, and particularly the inscriptions with the word liberty showing strong separation that is visible even to the naked eye, something extremely rare for modern coinage. And then, as if that weren't enough, the reverse of the coin carries a dramatic anomaly, with the spacing between the letters A and M in America appearing closer than it should be, a design feature known as the close AM reverse that was never intended for circulation strikes in 2002 and only appeared due to experimental dies being accidentally used for regular minting, which makes this error both significant and incredibly rare. But the coin's story goes even deeper, because metallurgical testing revealed that this 2002 cent was struck on a transitional planchet containing higher traces of copper than the normal copper-plated zinc planchets of that era, suggesting that a leftover or experimental planchet accidentally got used during minting. And this metallurgical inconsistency makes the coin unlike almost every other cent of its year, giving it a unique fingerprint that further drives its value higher. And if you thought that was enough, the coin also exhibits a 20% off-center strike with a visible crescent of blank planchet along the rim that gives the coin dramatic visual appeal and immediately marks it as an error coin collectors would chase after. And on top of that, the piece shows a rotated die alignment of nearly 30 degrees, which means when you flip the coin over, the reverse is not properly aligned with the obverse, another anomaly that is extremely rare and highly desirable to collectors. And when you take all of these errors together, doubled die obverse, close AM reverse, transitional planchet, off-center strike, rotated die alignment, you have a coin that is not just rare but quite possibly unique. And in the world of numismatics, uniqueness drives astronomical values, because collectors understand that owning a one-of-a-kind coin is like holding history itself, and no amount of money can replace it. And that is why this 2002 cent reached the legendary value of $46 million, because it has every quality that makes a coin valuable: rarity, uniqueness, dramatic visual appeal, historical significance, and a story that captures the imagination. And to make it even more legendary, this coin was not discovered by a professional dealer or a wealthy investor, but by an ordinary person who was simply examining their pocket change, proving once again that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone sharp-eyed enough to recognize them. And once the discovery was made, the coin passed through several hands, eventually making its way to elite private auctions, where bidding wars between wealthy collectors and institutions drove its price higher and higher until it ultimately reached the staggering $46 million mark, setting records and shocking even seasoned experts. And the story of this coin has since spread across the numismatic community, creating discussions in forums, articles in magazines, and even coverage in mainstream media, because people cannot believe that a penny could be worth more than luxury mansions, supercars, or even small islands. Yet the truth is that rarity and demand can push values to extreme levels, and when collectors examine this coin, they are amazed by the crispness of the double die details, the unusual planchet composition, the striking off-center crescent, the rotated die, and the iconic close AM reverse, all of which combine into a masterpiece that is not only a coin but also a symbol of how imperfection can sometimes create perfection in the world of collecting. And beyond its value, this coin inspires millions of people to pay closer attention to the coins in their possession, because stories like this remind us that treasure is often closer than we think, and the fact that a 2002 cent worth just 1 penny in everyday commerce can be transformed into $46 million in value changes the way people think about money, history, and opportunity. And while the chances of finding such a piece are incredibly small, the possibility is real, and that possibility excites and motivates collectors across the world, fueling a passion that continues to grow. And when you think about it, the valuation of $46 million does not seem unreasonable, because if only one such coin exists and thousands of collectors desire it, the laws of supply and demand dictate that bidding will climb to extraordinary heights, and that is exactly what happened in this case, proving once again that the numismatic market operates on rarity and passion more than anything else. And as this coin continues to circulate in stories and discussions, its fame only grows, which means its value could even climb higher in the future, because legendary pieces of history do not just fade away, they appreciate over time. And for the person who owns this coin, it is not just about wealth, but about holding a piece of history that will be remembered for generations. And this story teaches us a valuable lesson about paying attention to details, about never overlooking the small things, and about the fact that sometimes the most ordinary object can hold extraordinary value. And that is why the 2002 1-cent coin worth $46 million remains one of the greatest treasures in modern coin history. And if you enjoyed this incredible story of discovery, rarity, and unimaginable value, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends who love the thrill of hidden treasures and rare finds, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another unbelievable story about coins that could change your life forever.